Right there, folks. Here's a story. It's several weeks old now, but I mean, I've known about it for a while. I've been fuming about it for a while, but now that I've calmed down a bit to the point where I won't just be spitting and screaming for 10 minutes, I thought I'd tell you guys. You may have heard of it already. In London, this is. There's a woman called Sarah, and she set up a hair salon, doing hairstyling. And she was expanding, she was getting bigger, and she decided to take on a junior assistant. And lots of people applied. One of the people who applied was a Muslim lady who had a headscarf. Now, Sarah turned down this Muslim lady for several reasons. Well, one of which was the headscarf, because the headscarf covered the entire hairline, only leaving a little bit of this face bit here let open. And Sarah, according to her and according to the Muslim lady, who's called Bushra, I think, yep, said, to Bushra, would you take off the headscarf if you worked here? And Bushra said, no, it's against my beliefs. Okay, she didn't get the job. Fair enough, right? I mean, fair enough. I mean, you don't hire a really spotty person to advertise your skincare products on TV or get them to sell your skincare products in a shopping mall, do you? I mean, you don't do it. Hi, yeah, use L'Oreal and be as spotty as me. I mean, clearly no. You work in as a hairdresser, you need to see the hair. I mean, it's just simple. I'm sorry. And then one day, Sarah was going through her post, and she got a letter informing her that she was being sued for £34,000. For any Americans out there, I'm not sure, I think that's about $70,000. And because of discrimination against Bushra. And in the end, it's okay though. I mean, in the end, it's okay because Bushra didn't get £34,000, so it's okay. She got £4,000. Yeah. The charges of direct discrimination were thrown out, but the indirect discrimination was upheld, and Sarah has to pay $4,000. Okay, so that's about $8,000. Yeah. What? And do you know why? Do you know what the verdict was? Let me just read it because it's quite amusing. Injury to feelings. Yeah. Hello. I've made a video about this before, people don't have a right to not be offended. I'm sorry. Tough titties. Now, Sarah says, look, if all things else being equal, and someone turned up and they had a baseball cap on and they refused to take their baseball cap off, I'd done the same thing. Now, she could just be saying that, but to be honest, I believe her. I mean, true with a baseball cap, you can actually see, if you've got long hair, or even if you've got short hair, you can actually see quite a lot of the person's hair. Whereas with a Muslim headscarf, you can't see their hair, okay? But in any case, yeah, I mean, if you're, owning a hair salon, someone can't be wearing a hat all the time. People need to see what their bleeding hair looks like, okay? So yeah, I would have turned them down if it was a baseball cap or not. But here's the funny thing, right? Sarah, the articles in the newspapers in this country are fairly sympathetic towards her. But in any case, she does seem like an okay person. But what she says is this, Sarah says this: it was not a religious matter. If she'd come in wearing a baseball cap and saying she wouldn't take it off for work, then she wouldn't have got the job either. But you know what? It is a religious matter, because if someone came in with a baseball cap or some other hat on, you couldn't see the hair, they wanted the job, all things else being equal, and you said, would you take your hat off? And they said no, and you said, okay, sorry, no job then. Would anyone disagree? Would anyone, even in the liberal establishment, if you want to call it that, would anyone disagree that that person who wouldn't take their hat off was just a prat? Oh, why won't you take your hat off, though, would be the question you'd ask them. Because I'm a fucking chav, innit? I like to wear my fucking baseball hat everywhere, innit? No, that's not an answer, okay? It's not an answer. No one would accept that. The judge wouldn't accept that. He'd just say, okay, what's this? Well, we're not doing this case. Throw it out. It's ridiculous. But because, quote, Bushra's human rights were being violated. This is the problem with religion. This imbecilic notion that you have to cover your hair up as a Muslim woman, or somehow you're offending God or something. I mean, What kind of small-minded, petty prophet and god do Muslims believe in anyway? A god that would be offended by such gibberish? What's that? What? She's not wearing a headscarf, smite! I mean, really, please. I mean, what kind of moronic, unbelievable god do they claim to believe in? But in any case, I'm sorry. What's the basis of that? Well, I think I should cover my hair to do Allah's work, or I think I should cover my hair to conceal my modesty. Okay, well, why don't men cover their hair for a start? Let's start a hijab and niqab campaign for men. That's what I say. But anyway, that's an aside. Let's protect male modesty. But anyway, this is ridiculous. There is no reason for it. The reason is it's in my religion. Oh, we can't argue with that. We have to respect that. Oh, you've had your feelings hurt. Oh, it's abuse of your fundamental rights. No, it's not. I'm yelling. This has been weeks and I'm still hyped up. I hope you guys are hyped up about it too, because the problem with people like the British National Party, the who? Yeah, British National Party, increasingly popular far-right fascist party in this country, is they are the only political party, pretty much, who are actually coming out and saying stuff like, this is fucking ridiculous. If these Muslims do not want to live by British rules, they can fuck off. Okay, the British National Party, pretty much the only party that's saying that. The main parties in this country aren't saying that. And that's why people are being attracted to the British National Party. And it's a shame, because the British National Party are a despicable fucking racist party and we need to destroy them. But we're not going to destroy them by having everyone else turn off their brains and have the BNP be the only ones who are saying what people are thinking, saying common sense, you know. So in every single way, this ruling is really bad. You know, it's really, really not good. And this is what I say. We need to remember what our values are in the West. We need to remember things like secularism, okay? Things like liberal democracy, things like privacy, things like freedom from state interference, yeah? Personal responsibilities, personal rights, personal duties. We need to get real and remember those Western values, because we're destroying ourselves in the West. We no longer believe in those values, we've forgotten those values, and we're accepting Islamification. It's not acceptable. It is not acceptable. If we do not wise up, if we do not get a grip, okay, the West is going to decline. We have no God-given right to be dominant in the West. We have no God-given right to be rich or to be successful, to lead the kind of lives that we currently lead or we'd like to lead. We could face a world where China is a major power. We could face a world where Iran is a major player. We could face a world where Islamification is spread to the very core of Europe. That is not acceptable. That is not acceptable. Okay? And this is what I say. Whether you're a freshly arrived immigrant off the boat, whether you're third generation, hey, if you've lived in Britain and you can trace your ancestry back to Alfred the Great, I don't care who you are. If you do not accept certain British values, you are not British. You do not belong here. And you can fuck off now. You can leave this country now and emigrate to Saudi Arabia or some other shithole that deserves you and you deserve. Okay? And I don't think it's the place of the government to deport these people. People like this Bushra woman. I think we should all put pressure on these people and make them want to leave. They do not belong here. And as I say, I don't even care if you're white, Anglo-Celtic, and you just convert to Islam. If you hold these values, you are not British. You are not British. You are not my fellow compatriot. You are a traitor and you are scum. And I'm afraid to say, but our politicians and our judiciary are in bed with these scum. Okay?